Do you come from wealth?
Nah, I don't come from wealth. I come from watching my mom and dad make something happen with them lives.
Yeah.
And leaving like that country format.
Yeah.
And creating something of their own.
Cool, great. So that's who's watching me right now. People who have great parents, some who have come from single parent homes, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, yo, I got something on the inside of me.
Yep.
And so, but they're a little nervous. They're comfortable in the 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
But there's that single mother watching us right now that has a message for single mothers, that has a message for single ladies. There's a brother watching us right now that has a 9-to-5 job, but there's some wisdom, there's some knowledge on the inside of him. There are people watching us literally right now saying, yo, I got something on the inside, but I'm a little nervous. And bro, I don't know if you saw this study that came out maybe about a month ago, and it was saying that the fastest growing type of small business are creators, are podcasters, YouTubers, people who create and deliver content for a living. And so I was like, yo, I got to get my boy Shawn on the show because people out here getting a bag off of podcasting. Then I read another article, which is why I say, oh yeah, Shawn's coming to the table. Spotify did an article and said that within the next 2 to 3 years, this would be the #1 way advertisers actually advertise on the internet. Outside of Facebook, the next spot is podcasters. And I'm like, okay, whoa. So let's dive into this, man.
Okay.
What's the first thing you need to be doing if you have a message, or let's just say some that are saying, I want to start a podcast or I want to start a YouTube show. What's the very first thing they have to put in place?
Well, at first, you got to figure out why you're going to do it. Right? Like, why are you going to do it? What's your passion behind it? Because here's the thing. There's this thing called pod fade, where you start something, you think you're hot at it, but then you lose your interest. So is the mission strong enough? If you have that purpose, if you're representing those moms, right? Yeah. That's a mission behind that. So the first thing I would say, align yourself with a mission and a cause that you feel comfortable talking about.
Wow. So what was your why?
Yeah, my why was the fact that I really felt that my life, in my 20s, that I was the only one that really figured out what to do next. And I knew that there was more in my people. We just didn't have the access.
Yeah.
Right? That was my why. Yeah. Right? And it evolved, and the show evolved, and then the opportunities evolved. I think you got to figure out what that is for you and tap into that. And I think if you got a voice, you got a message, right? Here's the thing. We're so afraid of saying, somebody's already talking about this, right? But nobody's talking about it in your voice.
Come on, man.
Nobody.
Bro, that's my why. I'll never forget, I was sitting at the beach in my 2000 Ford Explorer. Had some fake spinner wheels on it. I didn't have the real ones. I had the fake spinner wheels on it. We're out at the beach in Oceanside, California. And me and my homeboys are sitting there, and we see all of my friends. We 18 at the time, 19 at the time. And we see all of our friends pull up in these real expensive cars, but we're all broke. We've all asked each other to borrow $5 for McDonald's so we can get something to eat, or we all asked each other for like $5 to get a tank of gas, right? But we were all broke. And in my head, I was like, man, isn't it funny that we all look like we have the bag, but we don't have the bag? And I was still drowning in debt at that time. And I was like, yo, there has to be a different way to building wealth. There has to be a way to where people who look like you and I, who are young, we don't have to fall for the world's way of success. We can actually create our own definition of success. And that was my why, is I want to take my message to the massive so I can help them understand, like, yo, you create your definition of success. And I'm going to show you how I got out of debt, how I am building wealth, and how I am chasing influence. And if we can do that for people like you and I, bro, it's a wrap.
It's a game changer.
And Dave Ramsey is already doing it, my friend and mentor. You have people like Grant Cardone, your Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of the great people teaching stuff around finances, but no one's teaching it the way that I can teach it for a specific group of people. I believe I was designed for a specific reason. You were designed for a specific reason and to reach specific people. So when you're quiet, I don't want to take over the show because I got my boy on the show, but I feel like preaching right now. You see, when you're quiet, you're not just hurting yourself, but you're hurting the people who need your message.
Yes. Here's the thing, like the way you say it. Sometimes like we get around a certain group of people, and we change our tone, we change the words, right? We change the words that we say. We get around a certain audience, we feel like we got to be proper. Sometimes that slang, that fam, that homie, that who you really are is what's going to pull that audience.
No, you need to be yourself.
Yep.
And be okay with the fact that some people will not like you for who you are, that's okay. So here's the thing, man. I just want to live right there. Have you ever been in a place to where you felt like you were not accepted? That your podcast, people don't like your podcast, or they don't want to hear what you have to say? If so, how did you deal with that season? Because there's someone watching, there's someone listening to us right now on the podcast, watching us on YouTube saying, but what if they don't like what I got to say? Well, what if they don't, what if I don't get no listeners? Like, how do we get over that hump? Because I've been there several times. Yeah. Hey, still to this day, I feel that sometimes.
I'll tell you how to get over the hump, man. This might shock a lot of people now, right? The way you get over the hump is, one, you have to be consistent in your true message. But here's the cool thing about it. You're either going to attract everybody that's for you, or you're going to repel everybody who's afraid of you. That's how you do it, fam.
This dude just said you're going to attract everyone who's for you, or repel everyone who's not for you.
Facts.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I've had to learn this as well. I was in a meeting with my mentor and friend Dave, and I was like, man, I just can't get it right. You have people on this side who love and hate me. I got people on this side who love and hate me. I got people in the middle who just love and hate me. And I'm like, there's no one side that fits all. It's like you're going to have a balance of each and every single one who loves or hates you. But I remember God just really telling me, he was like, hey, just focus on the people I called you to.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. You can't reach everyone in the world. And so I think if you just focus on your message and your assignment, you'll be all right.